Hey everyone, I'm AnomalousAdventures, and welcome to the channel. Today's walkthrough is the Uniontown Mall, located in Fayette County, Pennsylvania. This recording was actually my first time ever visiting the mall, making it the first one in the series that I'm not familiar with. Now, the reason I chose to see this one next wasn't just due to its location being close, but because I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to film it. Most people I talked to said if I wanted to see a dying mall, this was the place. So, let's take a look inside and go over some brief history. The Uniontown Mall was opened in 1972 and developed by Crown American. They held ownership until around 2003, which seemed to be the year they sold all of their malls, as they owned almost all of them in Pennsylvania. A company named Fayette took over until around 2015, when it was given to Namdar Realty Group, who still owns the space to this day. I also figured out that Namdar is a privately owned company, meaning filming here is kind of frowned upon, at least that's what the security guard told me. But he didn't say no, and after taking a first glance in, I knew I had to get this place on camera, even if I got kicked out. This large gate to my right held a Burlington coat factory up until January 18th, 2019, when it closed down. As far as I could find, that was the last business holding the gate. If you know what was there before, let us know in the comments. Despite the mall's condition, there seems to be a couple small businesses popping up. You can see that these people to my right seem to be cleaning out what looks like an old Annie Ann's. If you watched my last video, you'd know that I talked about secondhand malls and how the Mountaineer Mall became one. While there are still some large chain stores here in the Uniontown Mall, there are stretches here and there that remind me of a secondhand mall like the Mountaineer. This mall featured 2 anchor stores on opening day, those being Sears and a place called GB. 3 years later, a department store named Bonton was added, and soon followed the JCPenney and Hess's, another department store. As of today, JCPenney is the last one standing. The mall also had an AMC theater, which closed in 2021. However, the exterior is still visible, so I made sure to take some pictures for you all. You can already see just by walking through this first section that there's a lot of vacant spaces. I'd say about 60% of the mall, or maybe like 50, is just empty lots. Judging by the pictures I was able to find online, I'm gonna say that this old anchor to my right was where the Bonton once was. Here's the exact image I saw. I think you could say without a doubt that it's the same spot. Here's something you don't see too often. Very rarely do I see a mall in which a hot topic moves out, and even more rare is a new shop taking its shell. Looks like a card shop / D&D location. These are becoming more and more common, and almost every smaller mall seems to have one nowadays. Beside this Aeropostale is something really cool. Its dispenser is still featuring its colorful early 2000s design, instead of the standard brick and graffiti. This is the only one I've ever seen in person, and is the exact type of thing I'm always looking for with these explorations. It might be my favorite discovery so far. Over there's a retro video game and DVD shop. I would have liked to get more of it on camera, but as I said, I don't think this mall is too comfortable with people filming. I was already nervous recording the halls and didn't want to risk getting kicked out before finishing the walkthrough. Hopefully if you're in the area you can visit this mall for yourself. Visually I think it's my favorite so far, and I highly encourage any other retail explorers to experience it for themselves. Reaching the end here, you can see there's just more abandoned storefronts and closed gates. I feel like this mall would make a great reference for a film or video game trying to capture a unique eeriness. Over here it's quiet and ambient, like it's been left behind. It feels far from any life left in the building. The small sounds of this mall, such as the buzzing lights and running vents, are very noticeable. I'm sure a lot of you watching are here to get immersed in this sort of atmosphere, and I'd like you all to enjoy it as much as I did, so feel free to turn your volume up and listen for yourselves, as I'm going to stop my commentary until the very end of the video. And I'm back with you all. So far, the Uniontown Mall has to be my favorite visually and atmospherically. I've seen a couple of other malls that use blue for their interior, and that always feels super nostalgic to me. Overall, the mall's condition is okay, and better than what I was imagining from what I was told, but it's definitely leaning more towards dead than alive. Even if the large chains leave, and the final anchor closes, I think this location will still have some life in it as a secondhand mall. There are surprisingly 2 arcades, a liquidation store, and various other independent businesses that seem to attract more people than the large chains. If you're in the area, I highly recommend stopping by and giving the Uniontown Mall a visit for yourself before it's too late. Remember to like and or subscribe if you liked this video, but above all else, leave a comment and tell me what you thought or where I should go. I'm AnomalousAdventures. Thanks for watching.